Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. It's, every once in a while at Dreamerspro, we like to stir things up, right? We like to get people in their feelings, get people arguing, create some contentious debates on the channel. And one of the biggest debates that we have going on this channel through polls or through certain videos, certain things we've said in some of our videos. One of them is, who's better, LeBron James or Kobe Bryant? We've posted polls on our channel. Thousands of people have voted. People have made their opinions clear. Some people think LeBron is much better than Kobe. Some people think Kobe's better. Some people are kind of like in the middle, like, hey, they're both great. It's fine. And all these, but people have taken some strong positions. Now, to be fair to LeBron, before I start, let me say a few things. Number one, y'all know Kobe Bryant is my favorite basketball player of all time. So an argument could be made that there's a bias that exists. I'm going to try to make this argument and remove any biases. But if there are people out there that feel as if, hey, listen, you're biased, he's your favorite player, no problem. That's gonna be par for the course. That's the first thing that I want to say. The second thing I want to say is I have LeBron James in my top 5 all time. I have him in my top 5 all time. I have him ranked number 4 behind Kobe, Jordan, and Kareem. But of course, if you're not saying that LeBron James is the number 1 or number 2 greatest player of all time, oh, you a flat out hater, man. You straight up disrespectful. The margin of error that you have with a LeBron James fan when it comes to love and disrespect is like the size of a needle hole, man. If he's number 1 or number 2, you giving him solid props. If he's number 3, you ain't got no love for LeBron James. You a flat out hater, B. How you gonna be hating on the dude like that? Don't you know everything? That's the typical LeBron James fan, right? That's how they generally feel. They feel like you're really, really disrespecting. How dare you not say he's the number 1 or 2 greatest player? What's wrong with you before we come over to your house and force you to watch LeBron James highlights? What's wrong with you, B? Get it together. Now, if we look at these two players, let's look at their career accomplishments. Let's start off with LeBron James. LeBron James is a 4-time NBA champion, okay? A 4-time finals MVP. He has 4 regular season MVPs. That's impressive, 4, 4, and 4. He's a 17-time All-Star. He's been on this, think about this. He's been on what, 13? He's been on 17 All-NBA teams, 13 All-First, 3 second, and a 3rd All-NBA team, which is pretty impressive. And to put this into context, he made an All-First NBA team in 2020. Think about that. He's been on 5 All-First defensive teams and a 2nd defensive team. He was a Rookie of the Year in 2004. He was a scoring champion in 2008, and he led the NBA in assists in 2020, and he just recently made the top 75 players list of all time. If we juxtapose these career accomplishments with that of Kobe Bryant is a 5-time NBA champion, 2-time Finals MVP, a regular season MVP winner in 2008. He's an 18-time All-Star. He's a 4-time All-Star Game MVP to LeBron's 3-time All-Star Game MVP. He's been on 11 All-First NBA teams, 2 second, 2 thirds. So Kobe Bryant has been on 15 All-NBA teams. Now, he has made 9 All-First defensive teams in his career. Think about that. And 3 seconds. So he's made 12 All-Defensive teams to LeBron, I think 6 or whatever it is. He has 2 scoring championships that he won in 2006 and 2007. He obviously won the slam dunk contest in 1997, and he has the 2nd highest scoring game in the history of the NBA with an 81-point game in regulation. It was primarily based on mid-range jump shots, right? So those are these 2 players' accomplishments over their career. Now, in my personal opinion, I think Kobe Bryant was a better scorer. Some people look at the overall average, but you gotta factor in a few things, right? And it's an argument I heard Shannon Sharp made. When Kobe Bryant, I think, was the age of 36, he was ranked, I think, the 80th best player. There's something that he omitted from that point. Kobe Bryant, I think, in the last 3 years of his career was injured. He ruptured his Achilles. He had like knee issues and shoulder issues. He was injured and he was older. What type of performance were you expecting from him, from an injured player at that advanced age? Number one. If you go look at Kobe's numbers at the age of 34, you would know just how good he was. He was so good at 34, they were calling him Vino. He was actually getting more efficient. People like wondering, like, how is this guy getting so better? So that's a weak argument that Shannon Sharp likes to make. I thought it was pretty weak, but of course, Skip Bayless didn't pick up on it. And obviously, if you look at the first few years of his career, he didn't play much. So if you were to just take away the first few years and the last few years, you would see Kobe Bryant's overall career averages, as far as points per game, would be much, much higher than 25. I think it would be closer to 28. He's a better defender, right? The all-defensive teams tell you that easily. He's also a better on-the-ball defender. LeBron James is a better help defender. Hopefully, the casuals, that didn't go over your head. Hopefully, you got the distinction between the two. And he's a much more clutch player. Kobe Bryant has a total of 26 game-winning shots in his career to LeBron James is 19. But LeBron has more game-winning shots in the NBA playoffs, and I believe that's primarily due to the fact that he's been in a lot closer games, right? That's all that means. It doesn't mean that he just means that he's been in a lot of tight games that he had to pull out a win. Now, if we're looking at it from the other side, LeBron is clearly the better rebounder. He's a bigger guy. He's a better rebounder, and he's a better playmaker. Athletically, one could argue they're two extremely athletic human beings, but LeBron is probably slightly more athletic. He probably had more physical gifts than Kobe Bryant. As I said, Kobe has 5 rings and LeBron James has 4 rings. However, for Kobe to get those 5 rings, it only took him 7 attempts. For LeBron James to get those 4 rings, it has taken him 10 attempts to win 4 rings. But LeBron fans, to LeBron James fans, I've noticed that losing is winning to them, right? Because they always say he's made 10 finals, and I'm like, and it's like, okay, Kobe made 7 finals, so he has what, 7 rings? So LeBron has 10 rings. Why are we discussing losses? Please help me understand. And it was, yeah, but he's made 10 finals. Can't you see the dominance? I'm like, no, I really can't. I saw it means he lost 6 times. So why are you even making this argument? But nevertheless, they try to make that argument and say, yeah, he's made 10 NBA finals, so he's been dominant. But it's like, bro, he's been losing. It's like you fought a guy 10 times, you lost 6 times, but it's like, hey, but at least you fought him 10 times. Like, no, bro, he lost. Nevertheless, they still try to make that argument. But recently, the NBA released its top 75 players of all time list. And after going through that list, I discovered some damning information or damning evidence, right, as to why Kobe Bryant is a much better player, and here's why. Kobe Bryant won 5 NBA championships, but he only played alongside one of those top 75 players on that list, which was Shaq. He won 3 with Shaq. He won 2 with Pau. Pau didn't make the top 75 team. So essentially, Kobe won 5 championships with one top 75 player. LeBron, on the other hand, has won 4 rings, but has played with 3 top 75 players. Anthony Davis. I forgot the other player's name. Anthony Davis. Who's the other player? Dwayne Wade. And the third player that's kind of escaping my mind right now, which you guys can hunt down. And I'm going to omit Shaq, right? I'm going to omit Shaq for this argument because Shaq was older. Now, some people will say, and they're going to make this silly argument, well, Kobe Bryant played with Gary Payton and Karl Malone. So that list should be longer because Gary Payton and Karl Malone made that list. So basically you're saying that Kobe Bryant should have what? He should have won, 3 rings? With Gary Payton and Karl Malone in 1 year. They only played 1 year together. And if you want to make that argument, you're going down a slippery slope and you're going to be working against yourself, because I could simply say, well, LeBron James right now is playing with so many top 75 players right now. So this year he should win 4 rings, right? He's playing with Anthony Davis. He's playing with Carmelo Anthony. He's playing, he's playing with all of these different guys on this current list. So he should win multiple championships. No, we're not going to use that argument because number one, Carmelo and Gary Payton were old as hell. This Laker team is old as hell. So nobody's going to look at it that way. So if you want to make that argument, just remember that argument has a double-edged sword to it. But for me, I just think it's interesting that for all of the things that people say about Kobe won more with less help. He did. Pau Gasol did not make that list. Derek Fisher did not make that list. Lamar Odom did not make that list. And he still won 5 championships. And for the people that feel as if LeBron is better than Kobe Bryant, right? Clearly better. If he is clearly better, why hasn't he won more than him? How are we measuring this? If he's so much better, why hasn't him being a better player, why hasn't that affected winning as much? How is it possible that he's better than Kobe, yet Kobe has won more with less help? And this is the argument that to me clearly means that Kobe Bryant is a better player because he had less help. If the top 75 list, and he only had, of that entire list, he only had 1 player, and LeBron has had so many more, LeBron should have more. He should have more championships for 2 reasons. Number 1, he's had more help, and number 2, he's better than Kobe. But that's not the case. The results say otherwise. And to me, I think this is clearly the undisputed reason why Kobe Bryant is better than. Now, obviously, some people are going to point, oh, he's more efficient. They're going to reach for the next argument, right? It's always whichever one, the Tom Brady theory. when you're arguing with Shannon Sharp. When he's losing, what about Tom Brady? So probably I'm going to be hearing some Tom Brady, arguments coming in the comment section. So what I want to know from you guys is this. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm just making stuff up? Do you think my argument is ridiculous? Do you agree with me? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.